Vigilante Williamson here with a very simple question, and that is, what is going on with Katt Williams and his appearance on Club Shay Shay? Has the internet on fire? I have seen many a clip on YouTube Shorts, on TikTok, on Instagram, and the like. I actually have not seen the whole interview all the way throughout, I will admit that, but I've seen quite a bit of it through the clips, and it's got the internet on fire. Before we get too deeply into this, please, if you like what we do over here, if you like the video, please like the video, please share, please subscribe. We're trying to get to 800 subs by the end of the month. I really appreciate anyone who appreciates this content. We talk about whatever we can and whatever we want on this channel, and plus we do quite a few live streams. We're getting back into that in the new year. So I'm not trying to be the bearer of bland news. I'm not trying to be the guy who poo-poos how impactful this interview is, because a lot of people who maybe aren't as experienced in the quote-unquote truther community, or aren't as experienced in a quote-unquote, dare I say, conspiratorial community, for them this is hitting really hard. A lot of people are familiar with Katt Williams having opinion and being very opinionated and letting people know what has happened in the entertainment industry. In one of his very first specials back in the day, he talked about seeing Professor Ogilvy in one of those mansion party rooms and not necessarily knowing what was going on until he saw him with another man. And that's kind of one of the things that Katt has been known for throughout his whole career, is just telling the truth about the entertainment industry. And so this isn't really news. I mean, in fact, I don't know if there's anything that I've seen from any of these clips that is news to me. That said, I don't want to take it away from being news to other people. I'm also not trying to be disparaging of Mr. Williams, because I do like a lot of his work. I think he's a funny dude, but I don't go to celebrities for truth, so to speak. I mean, that doesn't mean that anything Katt Williams said was a lie or incorrect, but a lot of that has been public knowledge. I mean, it's not news that Tyler Perry is a gatekeeper. It's not news that Steve Harvey had an issue with Bernie Mac and that Steve Harvey can be a gatekeeper. It's not news that Kanye may or may not have some mental issues. It's not news that a lot of suspect things happen in Hollywood. I think if you're someone who follows channels like Black Balloons, like Jay Marvelous, like my man Unplug Him, shout out to Detroit, if you know who Yash Kara is, if you know who Chronicles of Judah is, and a bunch of others. There's a lot of others. I don't want to take away from anyone, but none of this stuff will shock you. None of this stuff is news to you. This is the type of stuff that you've heard many a time. Yash Kara, if you guys remember him, he has said years and years ago that the reason Bernie Mac passed was the cloning centers, and there's been a lot of people who operate the clothing centers. I know Black Balloon, I believe, did something. Oh man, I can't think of the brother's name. He's on a Megadeth album, but he's talked about the cloning centers. The brother's name is Donald Marshall. He has a video of Donald Marshall in the cloning centers. He has a couple videos, and there's a few people who've covered Donald Marshall. He is on the cover of this Megadeth album. He talks about being involved with the cloning centers. You need to check out his testimony. It's really wild stuff. There's a lot. This rabbit hole with what goes on behind the celebrity sphere is deep, and I don't want to be too disparaging for something like this, right? Because I think you do need these type of interviews to get a lot of people who may not otherwise know what's going on into the fold and have them recognize, oh yeah, there's a whole rabbit hole that's deep. But I can't help but to think, well, Club Shay Shay is a DraftKings sponsored product, and I'm not sure if it's associated with ESPN or just something solo for Shannon Sharpe, but you know, it's a very corporate sponsored product. And even Katt Williams himself, he's done a lot of work with Netflix. If you guys remember Cuties, Netflix is far from an innocent company. Even Katt Williams himself, he has an owl tattoo, and the owl has an occultic gimmick with it. And even the chain that he's wearing, it looks like a pirate captain or a ship captain's steering wheel. Well, that symbol also is called the star Ishtar. It's been connected to the cube of Saturn, 8-pointed things. usually connect to Saturn because of the cube. Am I trying to disparage Katt Williams or say that you shouldn't believe anything he says? Absolutely not. I think a lot of this stuff is still valuable information for those who are interested in what goes on in these celebrity circles. I think there's still a lot of valuable information, but outside the entertainment value, there's not much moving me along with it. And I'm just giving my opinion. I think you should still check out the whole interview. I still want to check out the whole thing just to make sure I don't miss anything. But I'm just not as excited, as shocked, as, thrown for a loop as other people. If anything, I'd rather let you guys know about the other creators that are out there that are already in the quote unquote truther sphere and already giving you information either on their YouTube channels, or a lot of people who are just on Patreon or some other platform where they can't get everything out on YouTube because of how restrictive these platforms can be. So please check out Yash Kara if you've never heard of him. That's let me get the spelling right. Y-A-S-H, and Kara is spelled Q-A-R-A-A-H. If not that, check out Jay Marvelous, spelled J-A-Y, and the second word is Marvelous, spelled M-A-R-V-L-I-S. I've actually freestyled to his beats on his channel, but he has a lot of truth stuff on his stuff. Oh, how can I forget about the Mag Bitter Truth? Check out the Mag. Hit him with a band. Please check out the Mag's content. Check out Black Balloons, BLAKKBALOONS. Check out Unplug 'em. There are so many other creators. Please check out True Stream Media. They've been around for a while. Simply Graceful is another channel that's been around for a while. There's a new channel called Born Again that you might want to check out. I found him through Black Balloons. And in fact, during this interview, Ricky Smiley and his son, who passed last year, that situation's brought up. And there's been a lot of content creators, including New Breed. Shout out to New Breed. You might want to check him out. He did a breakdown on how fraudulent it felt for this guy to be going on the internet after losing his son. Something didn't sit right for that. And there's other creators who had their own breakdowns on it, but that's just one that stuck out. There are so many other creators who will give you a much more truth-oriented spin and have done tons of research for years and years and years. Chronicles of Judah. He's not on YouTube. He's only on platforms like Patreon, so you have to check it out. But I feel like if you really want to know the truth, those are the guys to check out. And if I forget you, please blame my head, not my heart. There's a lot more people in the truther community who have a lot of information to share and have already shared a lot of it, and I think that will be more valuable to the average person. But hey, if this is your gateway drug, if this is the first time you're hearing about some of this stuff, it's valuable. So I don't want to take that away from you. But I will say this, I think if you really want to get into conspiracies of the week, you tell me what happened in Miami this past week for New Year's, because there's a lot of report of either a Nephilim attack or alien attack. Check out Born Again. That's a newer channel in the sphere. I'll probably link his stuff in the description if I can remember. I'm not trying to disparage the Katt Williams interview. I'm not trying to say there's no valuable information in it. I'm just trying to say there's way more valuable information in other people's channels who have said some of the stuff he said and a lot more. So please, please, please check out that stuff. But what did you think of the Katt Williams information? Was this stuff new to you? Maybe you hadn't heard about how Steve Harvey is. Maybe you hadn't heard anything about Tyler Perry. Maybe all this stuff is brand new information. Maybe the fact of how they did someone like Jonathan Majors, maybe you hadn't been keeping up with it and didn't realize how crazy it is that they brought him down. And Eddie Griffin has said there's no black man in Hollywood gets out unscathed. So yeah, definitely check out all these other content creators who are a lot more well-versed in the truther community than I am. And hey, if you have any others, please put that in the description. I think that's important. Whenever there's something like this, it's important to kind of put our heads together and see what information we can find, what information is already out there and available. There's a non-zero chance this whole thing is distractionary. Doesn't mean it's not valuable. Doesn't mean it's not informative or entertaining, but I think a lot of stuff can be distractionary. And again, you tell me what happened in Miami, because some crazy stuff happened. There was a lot of police, and hopefully the videos are still up when I go to post them. So you tell me what happened. In any event, If you like the video, please like the video. If you're so obliged to share and subscribe, please do that. And even if you do none of these things, thank you for watching. Thank you for your time. Good night and God bless. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.